Perfect.
Pleasure to meet you. I have some very easy questions about your event. If you have 5 minutes and you have a lot of aviation professionals just in front of you, tell me why they need to be there in case they missed something, in case they were on holidays and were not watching all the agendas and so on. They still have time. So why?
Appreciate it, Tatiana. So the training convention for aviation that's happening in Brussels on the 21st and 22nd of June is for every aspect of aviation training. There are lots of other conferences out there and other conventions that, for pilots and cabin crew and maintenance and air traffic control and so on and so forth. What we have is a combination of everything. It's all about learning and development within aviation. What that means for the next generation of aviation professionals, how innovations and technologies are utilised, and what new innovations and technologies are actually coming in the future, and how they can be utilised in learning and development. And we've got 2 days packed with exhibitors, panel discussions, and roundtable discussions. So far, we've got already airlines, airports, air traffic management providers, independent training consultants, small to medium large training organisations, consultants, everybody across the board from every aspect of aviation you can think of. And it's a great opportunity to actually get together with people outside of your network, to network more, get together and be actually part of the discussion. Part of the tangible takeaways is actually the creation of an industry communique on learning and development needs within aviation that we'll be handing over to the likes of DG Move, EASA, ICAO, and so on and so forth. And so it's not just a convention to get together a network and to just to listen to panels, but one to actually get involved with, to be part of the discussion, to be part of the community, to be part of what it means to be a learning and development professional within aviation, and how we can actually help each other to grow, collaborate, and make the industry better for everybody. There are still tickets available. We're pretty much sold out, but there are still some tickets available. And so, because it is last minute, we're doing a last minute offering. You can book via tcalliance.com. It's t-c-alliance.com. And the discount code is TCA, so Tango Charlie Alpha 50 off. Charlie Tango Alpha 50 Oscar Foxtrot. And therefore you can still have some last minute discounts and be able to be part of the conversation.
My next question, complicated and easy. Aviation in general became an easy target.
Yes.
For a lot of climate activists of different kinds. Will you discuss this topic during the convention? Will you discuss the learning of communication and communication in a different way? Because topic will present at the event, and can you say a little bit more on that?
Absolutely, yes. So that is part of the topic on the first day. So the first day is quite holistic. The first day is everything associated with aviation safety, well-being in aviation, diversity, inclusion, equity, social impacts, and next generation of aviation professionals. So within the social impacts and social aspect of it, we've got panel discussions and roundtable discussions all around not only charities and social impacts from that point of view, but also how social impacts such as climate change, sustainability issues, and new regulations that have been associated with that actually impact not only individual organizations, but the industry as a whole. And not only that, but what individual organizations within the learning and development capacity can actually do to actually overcome these challenges and to help each other through these challenges. And then on the second day, it's more around actual learning technologies. What technologies are currently utilized in learning and development, and why they're utilized in that sense, how you can actually utilize new technologies that are coming up or have recently been introduced into the market to actually be more sustainable and to actually prove to the governments, to registrations, but also to your clients and everybody else that you are more sustainable and how to actually use that, but also to actually give a better experience to students, to trainees, in order to actually help them with the training and learning development process as well.
During all the organization time you had, did you have feedbacks from guys planning to attend the event? What were questions you had the most? Because it's for me, it's very interesting what people are asking and what they are suggesting or even demanding to add. What are the ideas they're coming up to contribute to the event?
Absolutely, we've had some fantastic feedback, and some negative, which I'll go into as well. But the fantastic feedback is mainly around the next generation of aviation professionals. How can we actually adapt to the NGAP program? How can we adapt to this 2003 as the European Year of Skills? How can we utilise that in a training and learning development process in order to help attribute people coming out of university and then coming into the working environment, but also how to attract individuals into the industry from a younger generation, as early as high school or even younger, to make them actually, to make the aviation industry more attractable. Because as you mentioned at the moment with climate activists and everything else, the aviation industry is regarded negatively to some as a pollution. But it's not actually as true. There's a lot of false information out there, and people are only focused on some political aspects of it, but not the actual social and other aspects of it. So especially from the next generation of aviation professionals, what areas they're coming from, why they're coming into the industry, how we can actually attract those talents into the industry, and what technologies are actually utilized to help them perform better. Some of the other points that I'd like to actually point out was some of the negative points. And this is something that I find very important, because we actually got some training organizations, which obviously aren't coming, which says that well-being, next generation of aviation professionals, social causes such as climate change and stuff like that, has no concern to them. They only have to tick the box of regulatory requirements, do the training as required by law, and that's it. I think, and my organization thinks, that this is completely wrong. If we are to grow not only as individuals, but as an organization and as an industry, we have to start thinking bigger and more holistic, and not just tick the box on learning and development because the regulation says so, but actually do more to understand what is needed by individuals, what is needed by organizations, and how can we actually do that to make it better for everybody in order to actually increase productivity, increase safety, increase diversity and equity, and by doing so, find a way of process to actually decrease the costs. Because by actually incorporating everything together, by having more education on these factors, we can actually be better, actually keep the productivity levels very, very high and the cost very, very low. And in doing so, it's actually more beneficial for the industry as a whole. And this is something that we've worked on in numerous projects. We work with EASA, the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, with DG Move of the European Commission, and with a few others, where we've proven this, not just us, but a lot of others. And we're using all this collective data and all this collective resources to put together a couple of days of real tangible conference and convention to exhibit innovations, to talk about and discuss what problems are arising, how we can overcome them, and to create industry community on how to actually benefit this and make it better for the long term.
Do you think aviation industry waited much too long to come up with constructive and educational communication? In fact, we need a lot of aviation ambassadors, let's say future aviation ambassadors from outside of the industry to be capable to explain to larger public what are benefits from aviation industry and what it brings, jobs, economical impacts. So how do we do the right way how do we spread the right way this message?
So at the moment, there's, from a very low level point of view, there's already safety promotion coming out of EASA. So the Conversation Aviation magazine is one of the kind of hot topics at the moment. It's being delivered to all the European regional airlines and airports, and is a collaboration of efforts from a safety promotions aspect to understand what is necessary for actually helping staff be here and now. That's been a great attribute from the European Commission, from EASA, and it's something that's helping the industry now in the short term to actually deal with the problems that are happening now. But in the long term, there isn't a lot of communication about what technologies are actually being developed and how they're being developed. Airbus is actually very good at actually putting all their information out there about their long-term roadmaps, their technological roadmaps, how they're developing hydrogen systems, and so on and so forth. But there's got to be more publication and more communication as to what these technologies are and how they can actually be utilized. Not only that, but it's not good enough just to have the technology, create it, and then implement it. We have to be aware of what it is now and what's coming. For example, I mentioned Airbus and the technological roadmap. They've got a plan by 2030 for new engine designs and new parts of the aircraft technologies. But if we don't start actually looking at what those technologies are now, we're not going to be ready, to educate our staff on how to actually utilize those technologies when it comes to play. And it's not good enough to say there and then, okay, here's something new, deal with it. Here's the training. That training, that actual academia side of it, that learning development has to be brought into our programs now so that we're ready for it when it actually comes to play in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, whenever it might be. And with the rate of it, with innovation at the moment, especially because of the pandemic and everything else, those innovations are coming now. They're already here, some of them that we're not aware of. Some of the exhibitors and people coming to the convention, for example, are using AI and borescope techniques. They're using AI in all different learning development technologies and things that I had never even heard of before we actually went into this. And it's so fascinating to see what's already in existence, what's already in development, how much money has already been put into these innovation startups over the last 2 years, and what technologies they're actually coming up with in the next 3 to 5 years, which we have to be ready for. I mean, it's great that they're doing it. Fantastic. But if we're not aware of it as an industry, then we're not going to be ready, and our staff aren't going to be ready. And if we are trying to attract new people into the industry now, they have to understand what they're getting into as well. If we start to say, by the way, these are the fascinating, innovative ideas that are happening now and technologies that are happening now that are going to be ready in 5 years' time, there's going to be people coming out of high school or at university going, do you know what? I want to be in that industry. I want to be part of that. I want to be part of that change. And that's part of what this convention is about, is understanding what's coming and how we can adapt to it for the long term.
Perfect. As I told several times, I guess already, I think what we do in aviation and all the innovation and research we're coming up with, it's not only for us as an industry. We're doing it for many other industries and for larger public. So I wish they would be capable to understand just in one click that actually we're good ones, but we will work on that.
We'll work on it.
Looking forward to see what exactly will happen on the event.
I'm looking forward to having you there as well. So thank you very much and have a great day.